All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is Freight Train and Souza back for the attempt to go ahead and stream Snoop's Disciples versus Resist Gaming. Apparently, one of Snoop's Disciples players had a little bit of a smite crash issue, so we just had to relog the game. But here we go with the picks and bans. Right now, Resist Gaming is going to have the first ban on their side, and they're going to go ahead and go with the get ban. And quickly, Snoop's Disciples says Al Kwong is out of the picture.
Alcon getting out of the picture, a definite necessity here. Resist played it quite a few times way back when, and it can be very, very devastating. I believe last night Marauder, the solo laner, had an incredibly impressive game, going 17-3 at one point. Either way, Cirquet, the second ban, is Capri to follow up from Snoop's Disciples. Finally going to first pick. Athena, definitely the one to go for.
Yeah, always Athena. I mean, she's still somewhat of a flex pick. I mean, you never know if they're really going to stick that in there. I mean, we saw earlier today that AFK decided to play Athena jungle, still viable in that position, and can even go in the solo lane possibility. But Khepri just too strong as a guardian with that res. It's just so powerful, especially like on a hunter or even on your solo laner, especially if they get pretty tanky. As we see Bologna, speaking of tanky solo laners, looking to get hovered over here for Snoop's Disciples.
Yeah, definitely one way to go here. This is Resist on the blue, I believe, so the names are likely reversed for the time being.
Yeah.
Bologna, not just that tanky frontline solo laner, she's going to be able to get into these backlines so easily and start harassing anything that Snoop's Disciples want to bring to the table. So getting a Bologna out there as a first pickup brings plenty of CC initiation in the form of her ultimate, and that disarm will be a heavy factor in these later team fights once those AD carries start to bring out that heavy-duty crit damage later on. Freya, another hover on here, likely to be the ADC, and there we go, Sun Wukong swapped into instead.
All right, yeah. Instead, the solo laner will be Sun Wukong, and that he's just been first pick, first ban priority. Like you don't normally see the solo laners pick Sun Wukong or anybody that early. They always want to get that quote counter matchup. But Sun Wukong, as DM Brandon has said, just doesn't lose a lot of matchups.
He's been rising in popularity so much and very recently, and I have to agree with DM there. It's really tough to beat a Sun Wukong in lane. He's got plenty of poke, plenty of clear. He's tough to get to. His CC is something else in team fights. Like, he will be in there harassing with those Ox charges. He's got a slow on his Whirlwind. And even then, if you think you've got him, he's got his ultimate for a little bit of extra damage and some healing on himself. But Giannis and Bologna, definite responses right here, bringing in the burst damage and Bologna, which we already just talked about.
Yeah, definitely the Bologna is still a very good pick. As some of the people in chat have said, if you didn't realize, the names just switched around. Spectator client always has that bugged out sometimes. We will get that fixed when we actually get into the actual match. Firino is on Resist. Medieval, this is on the other side. So just swap those names around. Just a little bit of a bug. And Sylvanas is going to be the support locked in. You just can't go wrong with Sylvanas. The healing's powerful. The root's powerful. He's got a nice little knock up to go ahead and CC some people as well. It's going to be hard to catch that Giannis, though, around the areas. They got just so much mobility with Giannis.
And you're gonna Reese is going to play very, very carefully with Giannis. Giannis provides that global mobility, well, near global mobility to the rest of his team. And we saw it the other day, we saw that dropship ending, and you always have to be mindful that Snoop's Disciples could pull off something crazy like that. But most of the time, it just means that every time you're at an objective, you have to be wary of any kind of warding. So Reese is going to have to play a very, very careful vision game here. Meanwhile, final bans go through. Agni taken out as a mid laner, and Shibalanka for the ADC versus Snoop's Disciples. Nemesis locked in here as the jungler for Resist Gaming. Gonna look like that shred and slow, so God, we don't see as much anymore, but still always in the back of everybody's minds.
Yeah, Nemesis is extremely powerful. I mean, she'll get some attack speed items online, get a crit item online here or there. She's got a really potent slow, and I think it's really that ultimate they're looking at. That ability to shred Bologna extremely quickly, or that ability to shred Athena really fast. I mean, that ultimate takes away so many protections. The ability to burst down one of those tankier targets is really where Nemesis is at. I mean, they're hoping that Nemesis ult combo with Freya is just going to be disaster for any one of those tanky targets. So that looks to be the combination we're going to see here as Pomp has the last pick here. And going with the relatively tanky. Yeah, going with the Zhang, looks like, maybe.
I mean, it would be a pretty good lock-in here for this team. This was a very, very brutal frontline competition that Resist Game would take into it. Very tough to take down, and Snoop's Disciples don't have that much shred on this side. I mean, we've got some burst from Giannis, but really, they're going to be lacking the damage they need to take on the team comp that Resist has picked up here, and I'm a little bit worried for the Resist team. As long as Pomponius builds Zhonghui with some actual tankiness to him, looking at like a Warlock Sash early on, or maybe an Ethereal's once he gets that instant gratification. Either way, this is a very, very brutal frontline composition here for Resist.
Yeah, Sun Wukong can have over 3,000 HP extremely easily. Sylvanas is going to have over 3K with his healing ability, and then Zonkwe is just going to be tanky and annoying to deal with. Again, just they've got a really good team composition over here, but on paper, it's going to be close. Freya might be the deciding point with those Nemesis ults if they can really just do a shred and burn type of deal. But we'll find out here in a little bit as the game is going to get ready to start. So we're going to go back to the pause screen, ladies and gentlemen, get you guys some music, and we're going to bring you the game as soon as it goes live for us. And I will make sure to switch the names around. All right, ladies and gentlemen, game one is starting. I'll introduce the blue team, and I'll have Soza introduce the red team. Over on Snoopsdisciples, we've got more to Brooklyn over here on Bologna. We've got Mr. 357 on the Fenrir jungle. Glitch Hop going to be hanging out in the mid lane as Giannis. Casil going to be Athena support, and Meat Club going to be on the Rama ADC.
Meanwhile, coming down the top side on the red side, we got Resist Gaming with Fearno in that ADC role, bringing out Freya, Medieval to solo lane Wukong, Anxiety playing the support, and an Olympian Tower slaughtering Fearno to open things up, as Celadon brings up the jungle and Pomponius sitting in the mid lane.
Yeah, really, Freya just wanted to get that damage on that tower. It was like, hey, I want to get one shot, and that can make the difference.
You just see that tower at the beginning, and you realize, hey, we hate towers. So the point of the game is to kill the towers, right? So
I mean, that is the name of the game. All right, well,
what could go wrong with this?
Oh, nothing at all. I mean, it's a Freya that just, she's good. One death on Freya is everything. I mean, just intentional feeding. I mean, it's tactical. We're good here. As looks like we're going to see a mid-camp start here by the boys in blue on the right side. And so they're going to go a little bit different here.
It's going to be a little bit of an oddball startup here. It's going to be the two, both the solo and the jungle starting right at the mid-camp. They might be a little bit late on the rotation to blue, but I assume they're not expecting any kind of invade here if they're going to go for this. This could be a risky pickup here, as Resist Gaming doubling back to that speed buff, so nothing really going to be lost here, but yeah, we're going to be a bit behind the jungle side for Mort, as he's not going to have that speed buff for a little bit.
Yeah, a little interesting kind of the idea that definitely wanted to get control of those mid-harpies for the jungler and the solo laner to maybe put that Fenrir in a position where he could go ahead and kill that Sun Wukong a little early, but still going to be tough as the left-hand mid-harpies will be sought over. Pomp hanging out here with Skeleton, and we'll see if they can secure it.
Bank on that burst damage here as Mort Blake going to come for the fight. Portal coming down. Lots of bursts on the Pomponius here as the slam gen comes through from Mort. Going to do quite a bit of damage and finish off one Harpy, but Harpy talking back, and there we go. Split 1-1. It looks like Snoopsdisciples actually come out ahead when it comes to mid-camp Harpies.
Yeah, we're looking back on the right-hand side. Medieval taking a little bit of poke from the archers, but Fenrir's going to leap in. That's the Sun. Brutalize connects. Bird form good enough to get away. Medieval had a health pot ticket. The Cudgel! Mr. 357 taking a little bit too much of the archers right there. Medieval had a health pot ticking. Brutalize did not do enough, and the Cudgel with Bluestone does it. And now the fight back in mid lane here as Pop putting a lot of poke onto the jungler here.
Yeah, lots of aggression across the map right now, aside from the dual lane being your fairly standard farm lane, but not expecting too much, aside from a possible engage of the Snoopsdisciples. But Resist Gaming, likely to be playing this is very, very safe, considering the fact that Freya won't be reaching any kind of major power spike, at least for another item or two, since her damage early on mostly be caked into that gumball, which will mostly be the slow that's going to be the most damaging thing there. But otherwise, not much to be afraid of, as Mr. 3475 does actually find his way into the fight right there and takes the kill.
Yeah, Medieval just staying a little bit too long. We didn't see exactly what happened over there, but Mr. 357 coming in, I'd imagine just stun brutalize combination got him this time around, as just didn't have enough health. Sun Wukong did not hit level 5, but instantly goes ahead and gets back into the fight with TP, but Fenrir is level 5. It looks like Sun Wukong is about a creep off, so not too much to worry about just yet, but
the worst part here is going to be the Ragnarok from Fenrir, but even then, Sun Wukong's still a tanky enough target that even if he were to find a good Ragnarok at this point, he's going to require it to be under tower.
Oh, gank left lane over here, actually, as Giannis ports over everybody. The taunt is going to be not good on Sylvanas over here, and they're 4-man over here on the dual lane side. Portal good, Glitch Hop going to go combination. Bologna with the stun, Eagles Rally good, and the protections from that Eagles Rally will make sure she doesn't take any unnecessary damage from the tower, and they're going to walk away with the second kill on a 4-man rotation to the Sylvanas.
Yeah, good call to go for the Sylvanas instead. They're much harder for him to escape or get away from any of this. As Fearno has the banish, does have plenty of ways to escape that. He doesn't really have many ways once he banishes to protect his support there, so good call to take that one down. Meanwhile, Reeves set up for these mid-camps once they respawn as the solo lane fight still continues on. Mr. 357 starting to get the losing end of those trades now, but Resist Gaming looking to respond with a bit of extra farm gold here. The gold differential not too heavily in favor of either side, and sitting almost dead even right now as across the map both teams looking to find some way to peel apart.
Yeah, nothing much at all, about 60 gold separating them, a couple hundred experience. That's really nothing when it comes down to it.
But the fight though in the solo lane, we see Mr. 357 on the run here, ready to fall as Medieval dives on in with that ultimate and will secure the kill. 357 once again finding another set of time in the death chamber as the rotation comes through from Riza's solo lane, ready to catch a jungler out of position. Mort might have walked right into a bad spot. Tiger coming through, will go right into Castile right there, but Medieval slowing everyone down, doing as much as he can to tank up all the damage. Right here comes Skeledon, laying the law down onto Mort Bleakin right there, and he will fall as Medieval makes his grand escape.
That's the power of Sun Wukong. The fact is he sat there and just took so much damage, already had his ultimate down, but his passive kicked in so well right there. That crit was so clutch on that kill for the Bologna that, I mean, it was just, you couldn't get any better on it. I mean, he just had no HP. There was a clutch crit right there, and the defenses went up, and Sun Wukong was able to get a second, or third kill, I should say, and that's a 3-in-1 Sun Wukong. That's going to be pretty devastating if he keeps on getting fed like this.
He's going to have such an easy time getting into the back line and just staying alive consistently like that. He's such a target you have to be afraid of. You have to burst it down, but if you mess it up even slightly, Sun Wukong gets so much more protections, so much more damage from the extra crit chance, that you can't really afford to make mistakes when fighting a Sun Wukong, especially in team fights, and especially in these early game skirmishes that can get him even further ahead.
Well, right now, Bologna hanging out on the left-hand side. She does have a red buff up that she could be starting, and she does have a back Harpies as well. So, electing to kind of hang out in the duo lane in three-way split with the Rama. Not something that I like to see when I'm the ADC. I'm typically like, yo, get out of my lane.
I mean, but at this point, right now, everybody needs farm right now. As Snoopsdisciples having a rough time actually finding their farm on the map. Reese's Gaming doing a very solid job of either keeping them off the waves, or keeping them under enough pressure that their jungle isn't a safe place to find farm. So, unfortunately, right now, Bologna needs farm somewhere, and it's just going to come out of Me Club's like bank right there. And it's very, very unfortunate, but that's what's going on right now for them.
Well, both teams did a good job holding back camps. The mid laner held back camps for Bologna right there. Sylvanas held the back Harpies for Pomp right there, their mid laners. So, doing a good job as right now, 3 in the mid lane for the red team here. Resist kind of hanging out. And Sun Wukong rotating over. They waiting for this speed right here. I guess they really want to invade on this. Tiger Stance comes out. Oh, Portal will get him out, though.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think it's over yet. As Casil's still lurking around the corner, looking to find the flank here, but Mr. 357 could be taking too much poke damage. There's all health bars sitting really high on Reese's game right now. 357 forced to leap away, but full-on disengage coming from the Snoopsdisciples. Not a fight worth taking right here, as the positioning just wasn't what they wanted right there.
Yeah, they were trying to get that speed buff really hard. I mean, it looks like the Portal from Giannis. Oh, that's another... Athena just blinking right past her. Did not want to get caught out of position right there. So blink down on Athena for the next 90 seconds. That's huge for that blink taught engagement concept. And right now, mid Harpies on the right hand side going to go three-way split to the boys in red. And exactly what they needed to get this Nemesis online early.
Yeah, a slow but sure peel away by Reese's Gaming right here, sitting at 1.5 thousand gold now. Snoopsdisciples falling out ever so slightly, as now Fear actually starting to have a fairly solid time against Me Club right there, burning him down to about a quarter health. He's going to be in so much interest. Fear goes Skyborn, 1 shot misses, 2 shot, 3 shots going to miss, but the fear is in Me Club right now as Glitch Hop looking to rotate over. Portal comes through. However, he's mostly just coming in for backup and to buy time as Fear already backed off completely. Casil has arrived, and let's just be Glitch Hop clearing out this wave, and a wave being lost for Me Club right now.
Yeah, Rama obviously wants that farm as the ADC for sure, so he's got to make sure that he gets back there as quickly as possible, doesn't lose anything else. Right now, Nemesis about 2 levels above the other support. She's kind of in an odd position here. She has to be careful. There's the dash away, and Shield Wall comes out, but no taunt available right there. Blink it by Sylvanas. There's the Wrath of Terror. They're going to go ahead and try to burn this Bologna down. Here goes Pop. He's trying to chase it down. Glitch Hop getting low, but able to escape.
Unfortunately, Casil may not be so lucky. He does finally find the route out with that charge, and that's going to be the mid-camp secured by Resist right here. Snoopsdisciples, unfortunately, ending up blowing way too much CC in an engagement on a single target right there. However, Medieval will be caught up by Mr. 357, not going to be able to do too much damage to him, though, as the bird form will secure a swift escape for him.
And he has his ultimate, yeah.
Ragnarok forced out there as Medieval goes airborne. Mr. 357 not actually finding much there, as Medieval still had that ultimate ticking for him.
That's what I was going to say. It was they used 3 ultimates for those left mid Harpies to go ahead and didn't get any kills out of it. So they wasted a lot of ultimates right there, but Medieval was smart enough. He was like, yo, I want this blue buff, and I'm taking it. I've got an ultimate available to get out of this. So ult for ult right there in the solo lane, and that's a win for Medieval easily. I mean, right now Fenrir pretty much 2 levels behind, I should say. And that's going to end up costing him a little bit of farm, as Fenrir not a character that plays well from behind. So now they're going to secure their own blue buff, and that's just going to mean Medieval can hang out in this lane even longer.
It's definitely going to be a very, very uphill struggle for Mr. 357 at this point. He's going to need some kind of support to get him back on the map somewhere, or to start making these early rotations to these early game plays. Unfortunately, his team really isn't much of a position to make these happen, so right now they need to find some way to work on the fact that Mr. 357 should start rotating about now, unless he can find somebody to get some extra farm onto him. But he's going to try to take matters in his own hand. Does find a nice fight on Medieval right there, and should force Medieval away right here.
We're
Until
gonna
the
see.
taunt actually comes out mid lane, but
Yeah,
it shouldn't go anywhere.
looking at this mid lane fight right here, Pomp just kind of doing some damage, throwing out the cards, and just trying to see what he can do, slowing him down. Nothing much really going on here as the right-hand Harpies are going to spawn soon. Looks like Snoopsdisciples wants to set up for this. They might be trying to go around, though.
Right. Yeah, they've got a decent position for it if they want to go for it. Anxiety fairly out of position. Pomponius, both very immobile gods, but instead they're opting just wait around the mid camps as Medieval will arrive for the fight. Mid camps bursted low and taken out immediately as a two-man taunt comes through from Casil. Anxiety lurking on the corner trying to find the root, but nothing to be found nor had here as they will all be backing off. Meanwhile, Skeledon setting up a lot of pressure on Mr. 357, leaving Medieval a free place to hang out once he comes back. Mr. 357 forced to leap away immediately with the Ox charging through. 357 caught, 357 burned and dead to Medieval once again as Mort will come in and try to make something happen, but well, there's too much of a rotation here as they're going to cut him off from the backside. Mort Blanken might be in trouble, but they're grouped up quite nice if they want to find an ultimate here. The top waiting on the corner. A pull from Anxiety will link them in right there. Forced to leap over the top with the ultimate right there, and that'll be a lost cause as Castile will blink at the back using that portal from Glitchop, but the entirety of Resist in position to fight. So now there's so much damage going on. There's Fear No finishes off Me Club in the backside, but Evil diving in deep but will be forced into the ultimate. He is Skyborn now, dives back down. Pomponius finds the kill with a quick ghost from his ultimate, and that'll be Castile down, Me Club down, and a speed buff lost for Snoops.
And Mr. 357 decided to use his teleport to go into the mid lane to see if he can do anything about it. And honestly, this is just going to be free gold for you at this point in time, with Mr. 357 just going to be clearing the mid wave. He does have Ragnarok available if he chooses to try, but really, you know, there's just the whole team's there. There's no reason to go ahead and kill yourself, and he'll choose the wiser of that, and he'll back up. He'll try to head back to the solo lane, and maybe he actually will grab his blue buff because it's up, and he'll see that for the first time in 10 minutes. As we do have a quick pause coming out, it is a short one from what I hear from production, so we're just going to go ahead and talk through this here real fast and kind of just look at where both teams are sitting as far as items and looking at the charts and everything. We do have a 3,800 gold lead for Resist and a 5,800 experience lead.
That is a painful position to be in with Snoopsdisciples, especially considering the fact they have a very early game focus god in the form of Mr. 357 playing Fenrir. It's got to be a tough place for him, especially as well considering the fact that Freya, Fearno, has reached a major power spike as well. We saw this earlier between a duel in Me Club and Fearno. Honestly, just across the board, Snoopsdisciples need to look for some kind of extra win condition to pull this one away as they're falling further and further behind. What do you think you could do in their shoes?
I mean, right now, it's really just find the farm where it needs to be. Bologna is level 10 right now compared to 12. The Nemesis, who has 3 assists. Sun Wukong is level 13, 2 levels above the solo laner. You got to start getting some kills, and you got to start getting the ganks there. You have a Giannis. You need to be able to use the Giannis's ultimate to go ahead and try to maybe get a pick in a position where you normally wouldn't be able to. But you got to watch out for the warding. Right now, if we look at the wards placed, actually, if I find that right now, Sylvanas with 5 on Resist Gaming, and then really 3-3 coming out from the mid laner Giannis and from Athena. But right now, like I said, they need to get some sentry wards to counter the vision that Red has, so they could possibly go ahead and actually secure one of those ganks.
Especially considering this as well, you need to start finding these anti-vision control as well. But the jungle is getting incredibly dangerous to those Snoopsdisciples. Realistically, what do you think you can do to like pull people away from these fights to get positioning for your wards? As well, Resist Gaming, as we've seen, has an incredibly potent pick composition that you can't afford to be even slightly caught out. Do you go for these group wards, or do you try to make plays across the map to attempt to pull Resist apart?
I don't know. It's a tough call, really, right now. I mean, the only peel they truly have is Athena's taunt. So if they're going to use that as initiation in like a fight to try to peel, I mean, they have to be weary that that's really all they've got other than maybe brutalize stun. As I mean, like, they got to sit there and use that taunt as more of a peel versus an initiation and kind of counter react versus react everything. Because I've seen that taunt used offensively way too many times and end up really causing the fight to turn due to that taunt being down. As the game is unpaused, looks like there was just a quick little action right there that had to go down. And right tower is going to fall as Medieval will claim it for the first tower of the game.
First tower of the game going down in favor of Resist. Now Medieval also going to just secure his escape as well, thanks to that bird of Nope coming out of Sun Wukong right there. So, Medieval tower for nothing right there. Snoopsdisciples fall further behind off the back of that one. Gold lead has extended to 4,500 in favor of Resist Gaming. Experience lead sitting at about 6,100 1K as well. So, across the board, a good game for Rezis so far, but Snoopsdisciples still have the chance to pull these picks out as they have a ton of burst damage on their composition. They can line it up on a single target.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is everyone's so far ahead. I mean, as soon as Fearno gets online, I mean, he's got, let's see, Emerald Ring online. He's already hit the boots. I mean, as soon as he gets the Demonic Grip online, he's really going to start shredding everybody, especially with Nemesis ult coming in. Sylvanas is keeping up the heals. They need to see a little bit of anti-healing coming from the boys in blue. Snoopsdisciples going to have to get a weakening somewhere along the lines. It looks like Bologna is building into that with the creeping. And I'd like to maybe see the Divine Ruin come out from the Giannis. It's not normally an item you tend to like to see, but Sylvanas healing along with Pop's healing, you're going to need something right there. As the taunt comes out again on Nemesis in the mid lane, but again, that's used really for nothing. And if Sylvanas was able to grab a pull, that was going to be a dead Athena, but able to escape under the tower.
So far, Riza's playing very well around the cooldown usages of Snoopsdisciples, and now they might have found another catch here. Slow connecting on the Mort right there. However, the Banish won't connect. However, the Blink through from Anxiety does find something, but an immediate taunt from Casil will buy time and safety for them, getting the full-on disengage from Snoopsdisciples here. Riza's now bearing down on this middle tier 1 tower. The siege is set and the stage is ready. Tower taking a lot of damage as Pomponius reins in a few auto attacks from the side to try to find something right there, as Skeledon actually runs right into Mr. 357. There's no escape for him and no help unless he's forced to brutalize away. So Skeledon mostly is keeping him contained as best he can, but Evil
that's taunt down. Yeah, that's the taunt. Yeah. That's taunt down right there. Again, only used on one. That's going to be a few seconds where it's on. I'm surprised they're not aggressing. There's a root miss, though, by Sylvanas. They're going to go in on this. There's the ultimate by Pomp. Wrath of Terror going to be used. There's one. There's two. Fearno going to get the kill on May Club right there, and that's going to be an easy mid-tower right here, as Nemesis is trying to go ahead and run and see if she can grab Mr. 357, but will elect to go ahead and just go for the Harpies instead.
Playing the zone and game, trying to get every little advantage they can off the back of these fights right here. Skeledon will get grabbed by Mr. 357, but he's trapped in the middle of the entire enemy team. However, he's Nemesis. He gets away scot-free with a quick leap away, but Mr. 357 goes crazy for the kill. A 4-man catch by Bologna right there. This could be the miracle fight that Snoopsdisciples need, but they're all falling apart, and everyone is so tanking the side of Rezis Gaming. Casil banished out over the top right there, tries to dash away, but Sun Wukong over the top. Medieval will slide on down from his ultimate cloud right there and drop the cudgel for the kill right there. And unfortunately, what looked like the miracle play for Snoopsdisciples turned sour as Medieval dives a bit.
Medieval is going so ham.
He's unfortunately, kids, as fed as you are on Sun Wukong, you are not unkillable.
Yeah, he used his ultimate. He decided to go a little bit extra ham for no reason there. There was a lot that went right for Snoopsdisciples there, and a lot that went wrong at this very same time. That 4-man bludgeon was huge on Bologna. Then all of a sudden, Athena taunts, and the Bologna wasn't there to follow up. I don't know if that was a communication thing. Obviously, we're not hearing the comms. But from what that seemed like, was like you had the fight going your way. Athena taunts 2 or 3, and then the Bologna wasn't there to follow through, and Athena ends up just dying from a whoop Sun Wukong cudgel. And it was just like, oh, okay, GG.
It looked like the perfect fight setup, but unfortunately, the main damage dealers weren't there. Glitchhop wasn't able to put in his heavy-duty AoE damage. He wasn't able to land the unstable vortexes since he wasn't there. Me Club was dead previously to this, so he couldn't actually contribute to the fight in any way. And although they had the miracle fight, they had plenty of damage come up from the Athena and just the extra damage from the Fenrir Leap, which started the fight. They just didn't have the damage there to finish everything off, and that is one of the major strong points of Rezis Gaming. If you don't have the damage to finish them off, they will finish you in the fight, as they fight these extended fights so well just due to their composition.
Oh, 3-man on the left-hand side. This is a 3v2 right here, but Fearno's level 15. He's got a 3-man. Wrath of Terror going to connect. There goes Fearno just running through people. Mr. 357 is back in the action, but their whoop is better than Brutalize, and here comes Eagle's rally. Oh, Fearno going to get eaten here. Into the tower he goes. Valkyrie's discretion not going to be up in time at all, and this is a 4-man rotation. A lot of ultimates used, though, on this side. Here comes Pomp, and if Sun Wukong comes from the right angle, they could still end up turning this fight.
And Sun Wukong actually is just a little bit away. Skeledon will be the one to join the party first. Forcing the leap out of Mr. 357 right there is Skeledon. Will shield up most of the damage, mostly just buying time for his team, as Medieval instead opts to just siege up, clear out some minions, and get a bit of warding going down. They're not too keen on a fight right here, it seems, unless Mort does get caught out here.
Oh, Tiger Stun. There's the stun.
Yep. Leap away right here. He's going to be in the middle of some action. Instead, he'll opt to just fall right there as Skeledon picks up the kill onto Mort Blaken right there. And Rezis Gaming get the pick they want in return.
Yeah, it was beautiful right there. Medieval with a great Tiger Stun, knowing that Bologna's ult down. That's the communication I'm talking about that might have been a little bit mishandled on the other side of Snoops. And that's just a good team of Resist Gaming knowing what's going on. Hey, Bologna's ult down. You stun her, I'll ult her with Nemesis. We'll burst her down. She's done. I mean, it doesn't matter whether she has Heavy Hammer and Frostbound Hammer or not, or Runeforged Hammer right now. She's going to end up going down when it comes to a Nemesis ult because all those protections are just stripped. So, Nemesis...
With the CC was space on the side of Resist Gaming as well. There was no real escape there, and like the protection shred was just far too much for them.
Yeah, Sun Wukong hanging out in the left-hand lane. He's going to go ahead and just get more farm. I mean, SWK just doing it up right now. 6-2-4 at this moment in time. And he is not scared to fight this Rama, who will roll away. Gets taunted out of the Tiger stance, though. And Medieval taking a little bit more poke than he probably would have liked. He's got some physical tankiness. He went Breastplate of Valor. I'm really surprised he didn't go Mail of Renewal. Mail of Renewal.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mail of Renewal is so powerful. I mean, just in this game, especially since he's 6-2-4, he's been involved in so many fights. I mean, with 10 of the 12 kills he's been a part of right now. I mean, that would just be so perfect for the late game right now.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting one to see as well, actually. But until then, we have a fight around the Gold Fury brewing right now. Mort Blake will be forced to use that shield charge away to safety. Jumps in for a stun on Medieval, but only stunning out one right there as Medieval suddenly goes airborne once again. Fight grouped up nice and easy for Resist right there. An easy bit of AoE will shred through everyone there as Medieval picks up the double as he finishes off Mini Club. Now chasing about, trying to zone off the rest of Snoop's Disciples. They'll simply turn back to the Gold Fury and take a win off of that one. A 2-0 and a Gold Fury to follow. It looks like there was a nice split push going off in the solo lane. Not going to amount to much here. It seems like Resist will come out on the winning end of this trade right here, taking down the Gold Fury for completely free.
Yeah, and I mean, they got a tier 1 out of it, but that's not worth the Gold Fury right now, as 1820 is where the mark is, and that's going to put them at a 7,100 gold lead and a 10k XP lead at this moment in time. Resist just kind of, I mean, they started the bleeding, and the Band-Aid has not been put on by Snoop's Disciples, as they're still getting cut here and there, and slowly but surely, they're really starting to get too far behind to really make an advantage.
And I mean, that's one of the things we have to worry about as well. Resist is a very, very old name. The scene, team names, players in them have changed sometime, but they have that experience behind them, and Snoop's Disciples can't really afford to fall behind these guys right here, as they're all incredibly experienced players. Now, I know some of the names of the players on Snoop's Disciples, but as the game, this is one of the few times we've seen them together, is now you'll see Glitchhop trying to find a fight here. Anxiety will lay down a root, but not quite connect onto anybody, and they're just going to be zoned away from their own jungle right now. Unfortunately for Snoop's Disciples, nowhere in the jungle is safe for them right now, with the tower control that Resist has.
Yeah, almost all the tier 1's gone right there. Sylvanas going to go ahead and blink in. Nemesis ulting over there, choosing to go onto the Athena. And wow, the damage was good as they sat there, were able to burst her down with Pomp and Nemesis combined. That just shows how much damage is going on right there, as Sun Wukong is like, I want to fight every one of you. I'm going to try and kill you, as they're...
Yeah, he's going to find the 3-man right there to open things up. Medieval dives in to start the fight as Pomponius simply shatters Mini Club's face right there. Finds another one. A quick card to the face will finish it off for the triple kill. Looking for one more for the Quadra. He can't find it as Medieval already secures it in the front side. And there we go. The surrender vote has kicked off. Snoop's Disciples unfortunately call it quits right here as Resist swarms over them with a quick deicide to win the game at 20 minutes in. And what a series of plays out of them.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good game. I mean, sadly, Snoop's Disciples just kind of, that first blood on Sun Wukong, and then just everything kind of just fell from there. Even though they got that kill back, they just weren't really able to continue on. Pomp was too big, Wrath of Terrors were too good, and just felt like the taunts were a little bit off on the Athena, and that's going to be the end of their run right now in this tournament. So Resist Gaming will move into the semifinals, and we're going to wait to see who they play, but from what I'm understanding, we're going to be going into Magic Eyes Gaming as the next game. So give us a few minutes on that one, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with Magic Eyes Gaming versus, I'm not too sure just yet, and but we'll bring that to you as soon as we can.